In this segment of this shoot interview with Dusty Rhodes, he talks about a very young Ric Flair basically wanted to be part of the Rhodes family. It all add up, it all makes sense. Let's just first off hear what Dusty Rhodes has to say.
He had the ability when he first started, and he wanted to be Rickus Rhodes. The way to Bismarck, South Dakota was 300 pounds. He said, he's driving my car, driving me to the matches, and he says, I came up with a name. He says, I want to be Ramblin' Rickus Rhodes. And I told him, I said, make your own way. Be your own self because you have talent.
And I'll stop right there. And it might sound ridiculous for those that visualize Ric Flair as you see him here from Championship Wrestling from Florida being interviewed by Gordon Solie. But if you go back in time and look at a very young Ric Flair, as you see him here on the cover of this wrestling magazine from 1972, it makes sense. He has the same look as Dusty Rhodes. And here you see Dusty Rhodes, Ric Flair, and Dick Murdoch. And definitely I understand why Ric Flair had that idea of being Rambling Ricky Rhodes. Besides the blonde hair, you can see the resemblance. Just take a look here in color. Here you see Ric Flair. Definitely more or less a clone of Dusty Rhodes. So again, it makes sense. But obviously he did not take Dusty Rhodes' advice.
And I told him, I said, make your own way. Be your own self because you have talent.
But obviously he did not take Dusty Rhodes' advice. And what did Ric Flair end up doing? He basically became Nature Boy Ric Flair after Nature Boy Buddy Rogers. And you see them side by side, Buddy Rogers and Ric Flair together. So after abandoning the idea of Rambling Ricky Rhodes, he basically emulated, obviously, the Nature Boy Buddy Rogers. And here's a post going back to June 11th, 2015, of course, the day that Dusty Rhodes passed away. Ric Flair states, again on his official page, all I wanted to be in 1972 was Rambling Ricky Rhodes. The dream told me you could make it on your own. He mentored me and taught me how to be a star. Dusty used to say, if you're going to pass by, why not in a Cadillac? He's the man who invented a flair for the gold and was a genius way ahead of his time. And of course, a flair for the gold, as you see here, Ric Flair with Fifi back in approximately 1993 after leaving the WWF, after being defeated by Mr. Perfect Kurt Hennig and making his way back to WCW.
And in our early times together, we were great friends, and he was super. But money does strange things to you. Power, the insecurity of knowing how good you are. And he's that good. Maybe the best. They say that a lot. I think Hardy was the best, but they say, they always, if you read the net for whatever reason, I've just started to learn to work this fucking thing because I'm on the web page, So DustyRhodes.net/ whatever that means,
right.
The slash backwards, but we're building a page. So they talk about him like he was God, you know what I mean? And he wasn't,
So maybe he was on top too.
I think so, yeah. Well, even now he can outwork anybody that a group has. That's ability. That's not the personal side with me and him. I know he's a flim guy. Okay, I know that, and he knows that I know that, and he might think I am. So at least we know where we stand. So we never have a problem. There was never no problem. You know what I mean? So yeah, he was far greater work than Tully Blanchard or Iron. Iron was just Iron. There's 100 Iron Andersons, but there was not an Iron Anderson that could actually get it done like him to work. Well, he knew what needed to be done. He knew you two guys, you and him and you two guys were in a tag match with me and the Warriors. And he knew that he had to get us ready. And they were going to take the fall on him. But brother, that he had to get the thing ready. You two guys had to be stars. He knew his role, and he was great at it. I told you the story about Rambling Ricky Rhodes. Played at Wisconsin, I believe, in football. Gagne broke him in. He was selling insurance I believe, to nurses or something in Minnesota at the time he was broken in. So he'd already been out in the work job, and he had a beautiful wife at the time, and has a beautiful wife now. And he had a, that's where we differ in age sometimes. Because I know when he was working and when he broke in, he had to be as old as I was. He had to be. So now if we're both 45 now, since this is a shoot interview, that was one thing always bugged me, his age. But his ability to now still, like I said, outwork this by half-ass working a lot of guys in this industry. It's phenomenal. And a lot of years we had dogs are everywhere. There are years. That's Moonshine Max right there. I don't know if you can see him, but he's looking through the door. He had the great ability and the flim-flam to take care of himself and to make you feel really sorry for him in and out of the industry, out of the business. Ring-wise, financially, booking him pretending, trying to be a booker, a lot of respect for him in that aspect of this game. If we're just talking about that, he might be the best. Some say he is. I know he has a great following of people that don't really know the business. But we made a lot of money together. But I think I made him more money than he made me. And I think that's the key to Ric Flair. And success to him and his family is, I love his family, his kids, I just always want him to have success, because I don't want to see a guy like Rick, who did so much for this business, be down to the point of saying, Jesus, you know what I mean? We owe guys like Rick, this business does, because he's repaid in full. So a lot of respect for him in that aspect. But personally, as you know, as you could tell from my verbiage here, there's always been this inner battle with me and him on a personal level. But Rick is Rick. 18 times world champion, I believe, or something. I beat his ass 3 times.